Hey everybody, it is Friday, July 2nd, 2021. Thank you for joining me. My name is JJ. You're watching Bull, Boom, Bear, Bust. Wow, a lot of things happening, a lot of updates here to get into, a lot of news articles that really caught my attention today that we want to dig into. But first, just in time for the busiest holiday driving season of the year, or weekend, or holiday weekend, we have 7-year high gas prices. How convenient is that we would be seeing oil and gas at 7-year highs just in time for the 4th of July holiday weekend? And this year is expected to break records, especially because last year so many people were cooped up and locked down, that even more so this year, people want to get out and travel and go to the beaches and visit relatives, etc. So $75 a barrel. Now, we knew this was coming, but let's take a look at gas prices and how they correlate to this multi-year high in oil. And actually, we see it closed out today on Friday at $75.19 a barrel. Let's take a look at the gas price chart. Now, we started paying really close attention to this a couple months ago when it started coming close to $4 a gallon here in California. And I've got San Diego here mapped out in the red line. The average for the USA is in the blue line. We're at about $3.13 a gallon for the US average. But look at San Diego. We're really getting creamed out here. $4.26 a gallon. I looked around, the lowest I could find was $4.15, and in most places it was between $4.30 and $4.40 per gallon. Now also, I just want to clear something up from our previous report. Someone down in comments came to the conclusion that I was criticizing or making fun of or ridiculing people that have to rely on payouts. That's absolutely not true. I think that ultimately everyone's going to be reliant on payouts, because as inflation continues, it's going to be a very small fraction of people that are going to be able to make it on their own without some sort of assistance. So absolutely no, I'm not looking down on anyone for accepting payouts. If you choose to take unemployment or whatever type of assistance you have, you see when they print endless amounts of money created out of thin air and handed out to prop up corporations and Wall Street and the banks, I would much rather see people get the money versus the top 10%, who seems to be getting most of the money. When you look at the wealth divide, keeps getting wider and wider. And actually, I'm starting to wonder if the powers that be don't want everyone on some sort of payout, because they keep on increasing the cost of living while at the same time saying how much help they need to send out to people and how many people need to be prevented from being evicted, and how the banks need to continue to loan out money even though debt's at an all-time high and climbing. So it's a big mess, and don't think for a second that I'm ever looking down on someone for having to rely or choosing to rely on payouts, because that's the way the system was designed. And I've said this before, but who knows, the way things are going, I may be ending up living in a tent someday. I mean, you can be doing good one day and boom, some big medical expenses hit. We know that a few days in the hospital can run you several tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands. You could be flying high one week and lots of money in your account, and then boom, something happens and you don't have the right insurance, or something slips through the cracks, and you could be in big trouble very, very quickly. And that's one of the big problems with such a high cost of living situation. If you don't have assistance somewhere, insurance to help you pay for this and that, loans, debt, assistance programs, a lot of people would be on the streets already if you're not close to it being now. All right, so just wanted to clear that up. Anyone can fall into poverty. I've read countless stories about athletes that made millions of dollars and a few years later they lost it all. I'm sure you've seen similar stories. And just think about all the real estate investors that lost their homes. A lot of people went all in on real estate before the last downturn in 2008 and ended up losing a lot of homes. So they went from boom to bust. They went from so-called being successful, or at least feeling successful, to feeling like failures. Also, look at a lot of people in the crypto market recently. A lot of people jumped into Bitcoin 40, 50,000, and when it went up to 60,000, they felt really good for a while until it crashed down to 30,000. So that's why I say be very cautious. Don't have FOMO. Don't jump into something because you feel like the price is never going to correct. When you look at real estate, it does look like the prices are never going to correct. But I think someone down in the comments said it pretty well. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So we know there's going to be a correction one day. I don't feel like there's going to be infinite inflation or hyperinflation like we've seen in some of the countries. Why? Because the dollar is still the world's reserve currency. All right, so we're still going to see some sort of deflationary bust. I am convinced of it. That's why I still keep some cash on the sidelines, while at the same time profiting from the volatility that we're seeing. Digital assets. I think at some point we're going to see a big surge in silver like we've never seen before in the history of the United States or in the world. And I continue to stack, preparing for that. When it does go up, I'll sell some off, take profits. If it crashes back down after that, I'll buy some more. You know the game, right? Buy low, sell high, boom and bust cycles, trade the volatility. All right, now let's talk about from the absurd to the even more absurd. The Economist, recent article, does the hot housing market still need propping up? So even mainstream articles admit that the housing market is propped up. Talks about the Fed here, talks about backing the banks, taking the bad assets off the books, mortgage-backed securities, low interest rates, billions of dollars a day in repo, reverse repo, whatever it takes to prop up the banks. So the answer is, it depends on who you ask. Does it need propping up? Sure, if you ask a real estate agent, if you ask someone that's in the process of selling their home, if you ask home flippers, investors, if you ask a lot of landlords, they like the whole high home values because that pushes more people into the rental market. Therefore, you can charge higher and higher rents because people are priced out of the housing market. But on the flip side, you have a lot of people saying, no, we don't need higher prices. I need lower property taxes. I need lower overhead. Tons of people waiting on the sidelines. Lots of people that are forced to rent because they can't afford a home. They would like to see home prices come down. So it depends on who you ask, but it's admitted now. It used to be controversial or strange that someone would say that the Fed is propping up the housing market. No, the Fed wouldn't do that. The money printers, no, they would never, manipulate things or help prop something up. They're not allowed to do that. Right? I had many trolls on the channel say those exact things to me, saying that I was some kook. The housing market was never going to be propped up when the Great Recession came in, or the Great Sickness Recession, I should say. And look what's happening. It's going to continue. So use caution out there, folks. It's going to continue to get crazier, in my opinion. This inflation storm is just getting started, and I'm not sure what's going to stop it. So hedge yourself. Continue to trade this volatility and be cautious, people. See ya very, very soon. Happy 4th of July weekend. Might be back in for an update this weekend. We'll have to see. Stay well, stay safe, keep stacking, stay prepared. Until next time, bye for now. Peace.